Hey everyone, welcome to show and tell number 30, the big 30. My name is Claudie and thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. So, I have stuff to show you. I've got spinning and cross stitch, knitting, crochet, purchases, just a little bit of purchase information. But before we get started, you could probably hear my husband typing. He is working from home again today, but this will be the last time he will be on the video for a few months probably, because the work where he's working from home 1 day a week now, but it's like rotating, so yeah. So it'll be a while before he's back on Mondays, and I usually record on Mondays, so there you go. He's over here. He's not gonna, I don't think he's gonna say anything this time, so yeah. Okay, so what's been going on? I'm gonna talk mostly about like all the other stuff later, but I've just been trying to like not stress too much. Father's Day was not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, and I went and hung out with my family, my dad and my brother, and his daughter and her friend, and then my husband was there. There were more people who were supposed to come, but family drama. Yeah, always fun times. I had to take my dad to a doctor's appointment. I mentioned before, his girlfriend, she is sick, and so I've been helping, do the things that she kind of normally handle, like making sure that, he went to his doctor's appointments on time and stuff like that. But it's not a big deal, and it's fine. He's doing okay, and I went and saw her after his appointment, and she did seem a lot better. You could understand her a little bit more, though what she was saying still wasn't really making a lot of sense. But, it takes time, right? Yeah. What else? Oh, if you follow me on Instagram, and you should, I'm crafting with Claudie there. You notice one day I was talking about how stressed I was, and I was like reballing or recaking all of my scraps, like all the ones that were just like all over the place, and there were a lot of them, which kind of kickstarted me into trying to use up some of those scraps. So let's move right into finished objects. So I grabbed out like a bunch of the skeins that were like either self-striping or self-patterning, the large acrylic sections. So I've got, I guess I could take it out of there, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I have some of this. This is Red Heart, what do they call it? I have the thing, Red Heart Team Spirit, and it's royal and white. Go UK. And so I had like almost well, not two full skeins. I had made things out of the skeins before, but I had quite a bit of that. You can see, I still have quite a bit of that left. Like there's a lot in there. Yeah. The bag I'm using is just a Knit Picks, or I got it from Knit Picks. It's the little eco bags. It's cats playing with ball of yarn. Super cute. So I got those out, and basically I was trying to get out like the largest cakes I had in there to just make more space because, yeah, I have scraps and I cannot lie. And then I used, well, I'll just move right into the finished objects, yeah. So with those, I made this hat. This is half double crochet all the way around except the last row is single crochet. I used a size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter hat. I should have got the mannequin head, but I didn't. So you can see how that works out. Just a nice charity hat, and I did the half double crochet because I thought it would be more dense, but I mean it still has some, you can still see there's some holes, but it's not as bad as with like maybe a half double crochet. And then I used this yarn, which this is the I Love This Yarn Fan Pride. The color is black and orange. Go Bagels. Obviously, I bought these because of where I live, but also because they were fun. This is very Halloween. I think you can make this work for Halloween, but you can see the difference. I used the same hook, same stitch counts and everything. And you can see how the pattern works up different. And I had initially bought those skeins of yarn thinking that I might do like a compare and contrast between them, but that was years ago, or that was pretty much towards the beginning, I believe, of me even starting this channel. So what was that, 3 years ago now? So yeah, I never got around to doing that, but I still have the yarn. I used it for other stuff, but yeah. The big difference is that I've not washed either one of these. The Red Heart is much more stiff. You can see it kind of wants to not do its own. This kind of is a little bit more floppy. This is more draped to it, I guess that's the technical term. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. They're both nice, and once it washes up, this will be fine too. So it's not a big deal. I just have to wash all of the stuff at some point. I have some of the black and orange left. I think that's all I have left. That's not enough for a full-size hat or like an adult-size hat. It's, you know, I'd have to do like a smaller size or I don't know, something like that. But I'm going to get that done. I'm also using a bag from Knit Picks. And this is a cat and a sheep talking about yarn. And there's a little mouse down there who's he's helping. So yeah, and then I have a work in progress in there too, but I'll show that to you in a little bit. So I did that with the larger sections of scrap yarn that I had. And I want to try to do that, one, because I have a goal to do, you know, so many charity projects, and also because space issues. I kind of had just like let my scraps go. Like I hadn't scanned them up and put them away. I just like let them kind of pile. And then when I got all that stuff together and I put it in where I normally keep my scraps, it was just doesn't really fit. I had to like do some Tetris moves to get everything to sit in there without falling out. So yeah. I did finish one more object. I believe that's the last finished object. Yes. This is the Angel Wings Pinafore, and it's by Maxine Gonzer. I'll put links and everything in the show notes. My project pages on Ravelry are not up to date. I've made this before. I've actually made this a couple times before. Well, I've made it a lot more times than that before, but I've made it a couple times recently before. I see the project pages are up for that, but not this one. I have to do that. So, there you go. My cousin, they weren't sure they were going to find out the gender of their baby because, like, baby wasn't cooperating when they would go for the ultrasound and stuff like that. So, they were fine with just finding out when the baby was born. But when they went, they found out that they're having a girl. So, I got to make things. So, I made this, and it has a button on it. I believe the last one I made, I ended up joining it in the round here instead of having this seam. The pattern is written with this seam. But I think last time I made it with just as a skirt. But I figured since this was more for, I don't know, I just figured it was fine. So I added a little button, just something I had in my button bag. I have a Ziploc bag full of buttons. It's very, very attractive. Yeah. I used a size I 5.5 millimeter hook for the chain and the first row because I wanted that just to come in just a little bit more. And then after that I used a size J, which is a 6 millimeter. Yeah. Super cute. I have to wash it still. It's so the stitches probably will open up just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not really going to block much or anything, but it'll be cute. And I think this should work. Her baby is due in August, but this is not quite a newborn size. I think it'll fit maybe when it's closer to winter time. So I figured this would be, warm for in the house, like maybe over like a onesie or something like that. So yeah, I love this pattern. It's super cute, super easy, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so that is all I have finished. When it comes to works in progress, I'll just start with the new thing because it's right here. So again, I'm using scraps. This is, I love this yarn in Surprise Stripes, I believe. And it's this. So basically it's gray, pink, a few different shades of pink, and black. And I had quite a bit of it left, so I just decided that I was going to knit a hat out of it instead of crochet one, because I thought the stripes would, the way that the yarn patterns, I thought it would look a little better in knit, because that way it would actually stripe, because I didn't think that there would be enough in some of the sections to do a full stripe in crochet. So yeah. I really like this color. I don't really buy I Love This Yarn anymore, but it's such nice yarn. Like it's so soft, and it's really great to work with. Yeah. I'm using size 8 hooks. 8 needles, and I believe that's at 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 millimeter. These are my. You can see that. Kind of see that there's a join there. It's very shiny. So these are the Knitter's Pride special 16-inch Nova Platina interchangeable sets, which I really, really enjoy, because that way you can do the ribbing, and you don't have to actually change the needles. You can just use a second set of needles. You just change the needle and then go on. That makes me incredibly happy. So I just made this up. I did 3x2 ribbing, and I believe I cast on 85 stitches. This will probably fit a teenager, maybe an adult with a small head. I have a big head, so I always have to make my hats huge. I have a large circumference head, plus I have big hair, so yeah. But it's really nice, and yeah, there's the beginning of the round. Instead of using it on the actual needles, especially for a hat or something like that, I will just sometimes just mark where the stitch is, and then I can just use because we're not going to be doing anything weird, just count up that way to know that it's the beginning of the round. That's my trick for not losing my stitch marker, because I do that all the time. So yeah. And then is that it? That's, I think, the last. No. Yeah. Words. I thought that might be the last knitting project, but it's not. I showed this to you last time. I'm making the Be Simple shawl by Carolyn Glau's Toe Drink. I'm using Mode Knit yarn. It's like I don't know how to use anything. So Mode Knit yarn, and the color is Cuckoo Wasp, and that's what I have left. So it's not a whole lot, but it's still plenty. I had thought I was going to have this done today, but I didn't, because there were things this weekend, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'm keeping this in a Lammy Toes bag. Got little birds on it with they're holding little cherries, and then on the inside it's got hearts. Cute bag. I think she did Lammy Toes shop, who is Amanda, and she has the Not a Podcast here on YouTube. I believe she does speckle yarn, and I think that she had a shop update, and I think if you order now, she probably can do it, but I think she's going to go on vacation, so if you were interested in that, you might want to check it out, because I think it'll be a little while before she gets back. But anyway, I need to move this up on the needle so I can show it to you. I haven't really made a whole lot of progress since the last time I showed it to you. I'm on the yarn over row for the eyelets, make the eyelets, and it's kind of tight right there, but alright. So I think the last time I didn't use this progress keeper, of course, but I believe I was in the middle of the purple. So that's what I've done so far. And let's see. Can I get this all in there without dropping all of my stitches? Which I did drop a bunch of stitches when I was doing something. And I got them back on, but like I almost cried. It was pretty traumatic. Yeah. So there we go. It's a little bunched up, but you can tell what it's gonna look like, kind of. I really like it. I really, really like it. Now that it's like all kind of come together, I don't know. These are my colors, and I am very happy. So, yay. This yarn is, I don't think it's going to make a particularly large shawl. This is more scarf, not so much shawl, but I could add stuff to it, but I'm going to see how it is when I get done with the yarn and see like if it, is okay for a scarf length. It should block out quite a bit. There's a lot of give. The yarn is a little like kinky, wavy, and I think that and it's also superwash, so yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I think it'll definitely be big enough for a scarf. I wasn't expecting a shawl of any kind, but because I knew that this kind of thing with one skein of yarn is not gonna lead me anywhere with a really like oversized shawl. I'm using my Chowgu interchangeables. These are size 6, which is a 4mm. These are the red lace tips, which I love. These are my favorite needles. And like I just love them. I love the Chowgu red lace. I think because they're so pointy, it just makes me happy. So, alright, so that is all I've done when it comes to knitting. I've done some cross stitch. I thought I was going to have this finished. Again, there's a theme, right? I thought I was going to have it finished, but I didn't. I did finish the body. Before I had like a big section where I didn't have the body of the dough completed, but I did finish it now. And I could take out the red horizontal line if I wanted to, but the pattern is by RHT Embroidery on Etsy, and all I have left to do is the lettering, which shouldn't take that long. I just have to actually start on it. Yeah, he's adjusting his chair. So yeah, good thing. I will be modifying the lettering just a little bit, but when I get that done, I'll show you what mine looks like versus what the sample that she had done looks like. And the only other thing that I am actively working on, I didn't work on my cardigan. I might have done like 2 rows or something, but whatever. There's something about it that's just, I don't know. Let's not talk about that. I have been plying. I finished the singles for the fiber that I was working on. It's by Turtle Made. I bought it at a wool gathering in 2014. So yeah, so that's what the singles look like. They're all smushed in there. I had to do about this much in order to fit them both in this bowl. It's not a particularly large one. I have a larger one. I don't know why I just didn't use it, but whatever. The yarn bowl is by Pawley Studios, Pawley Studios, and I bought this at Kentucky Sheep and Fiber last year. It's the same company I bought the mug for that says I knit so I don't kill people, and the one that Amy Ming Mao won here on YouTube, the one that it says F off, I'm knitting. Only it's F and then like, asterisk, apostrophe, whatever, not apostrophe, ampersand, that kind of thing. So yeah, cute little adorable sheep. And you can see like she even puts like the details in there. She had some really cute ones that were like textured sheep, like more heavily textured than this, and they were really really cute. Or maybe the sheep, maybe they were just, it may not have the sheep face on them and they were textured. I can't remember now, but I thought about buying them. But yeah, so cute stuff. It's a pottery place. They live in Kentucky, so local to me. But like they're kind of famous now. I think that like Stephen B carries their mugs, and I don't know, you can get them all over the place. They do have a website, and you can order from there, and they have a local store I think you can go into as well. But they're really, really nice people. The wife does all of the pottery stuff, and I think the husband handles more like the business stuff. And they do tours and all kinds of fun things. But anyway, enough promotion for them. They're not paying me. I just really, really like what they do. I started plying the singles. I'm just doing a 2-ply. And so, just trying to find the happy spot where it'll focus. You can see it is barber poling quite nicely, which is what I wanted it to do. What I did, the way that the braid came, it was folded in half, and I think maybe that's how she dyed it, because it was very, very similar. There were a few places that were kind of different, but that might have just been like dye breaking or something like that. But for the most part, from the midpoint down to the ends, both sides were the same. So what I did is I broke it in half. I weighed it and everything, so I broke it in half. And then I plied, or I spun one half from one end and going this way. And then the other one I spun from the other end. And so that way when I would pull from the center pull, because when you do a Turkish spindle, it naturally gives you a center pull ball. So that way when I pulled from the ends, they wouldn't be lined up exactly. There's probably going to be a little bit, especially when I was looking at the last bits, they look, they do look very similar. And I was like, maybe I forgot to start them at the opposite ends. I wasn't sure, but I pulled out some and I was like, no, that's what I did. So, but it'll be fine. I think the very end might be a little close, but we'll also see, because there could be a difference in the single widths and everything, so I may end up with like a bunch extra in one ball and not the other. So anyway, I'm really excited. I am plying this on my Turkish spindle, and this is also from Turtle Made, and that probably was a mistake. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 4 ounces in there. I am winding it very carefully, but I think that I'm probably not going to be able to. So I'm trying to decide if I should go ahead and just like take this off now and put it on to a bigger top whirl drop spindle, or if I should just do what I can and then break it and then do it again. I have another spindle that's this weight too, so I could just do that, but I really don't want to break it if I don't have to. Maybe if it naturally breaks, and it might, because that happens sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, how I'm doing it is probably not any stretch of the imagination would be considered professional or the correct way, but here's what I do. So I have both the skeins in there, and you can see like they're coming out here. So I basically leave that like that and sit it on the table, and I turn it around so that way the plies come this way. And then I think it's interesting to see what other people do. And I know I'm not doing it correct, but that's fine. And then I take the 2 plies and I put my arm in between them, and then I tension this one around that finger, and I tension that one around this finger. And then I use these fingers to put more tension on it. So that way I do that. And then I spin with this side and then use, it's wrapped around there, so I can't really do it. But then I use this fingers to kind of help keep the twist from going up too far. I know that there's probably like easier ways to do it, or the correct way to do it, but that's what works for me, and I really like the way it's coming across. It is, when I test the, when it's twisted up and then you go like this to see how much energy it has, it is slightly, it still has some energy to it, but usually some of that comes out when you wash it, so I'd rather it be a little bit too much than not enough. That's my theory and my thinking. I don't know. Not a spinning professional. So I could be completely wrong and end up with something crazy that when I actually use it up, it's going to look insane. We'll see. But I really like it so far. I would say this is about a fingering weight. But it is, there are spots that are a little thicker, and that's okay. I'm not looking for perfect, because if I was, I would just have bought it. So it's about the process, right? Okay, so that is all. Oh, we have my husband. He's gonna make an appearance. There he is. He didn't want to be on camera, so yeah, I may edit that out, but we'll see. Okay, so is that all that I have? Yes, that's all that I've been working on. Yeah. So I did buy some things. I did put the haul video up on Saturday. That's when my order came in. Nitpicks is having their summer sale. So if you're interested, I think it runs through almost, I think through like the 25th of July or something like that. A long time. But if you're interested, go over there and check it out. And I figured rather than I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff because some of you may not watch the haul video, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because I love watching haul videos. I watch them all the time. It's just kind of I don't know. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but basically I really like looking at people's yarn. What they buy, why they buy it. I want to know about it. But also, with Nitpicks, sometimes their pictures of their yarn and stuff like that doesn't always look exactly like it does when you get it home. So, I mean, it could be a difference in your, your monitor or whatever, but a lot of times I think it's probably just because, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of people who have the same issue, so I don't think it's one person unless we all have the same monitor. But anyway, so I will show a little bit so you can see what it looks like on this camera, so if you get an idea of what it looks like. So I bought some Dishy, which I'm not showing you. It's just like kitchen cotton, and I haven't started using it yet, but you can check out that video for that. But I wanted to show you the Felice because I love Felice yarn. I know it's probably not the sturdiest of sock yarns, but it's so pretty, and it's not really that expensive. I mean, when you consider self-striping sock yarn from an indie dyer normally costs $25 a skein, if not more. And that's fine. I like that stuff too. But sometimes you want to maybe only spend $11 for self-striping sock yarn. And that's what I did. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you. I bought 4 different colors. This one is called Sunset. And this right here, that is purple. Don't know if that's going to show up or not, but it is purple. And it is very, very pretty. I think I might actually make either a hat or maybe mitts or something, because this to me feels very much like autumn. And I have mentioned I'm going to Rhinebeck, right? Just an interruption. I am editing the video, and while I was editing, Erin, who's Gimme Yarn 418, she posted a video that you guys should check out because it's about what I just mentioned. So, yeah, back to the video. So, I'm thinking I might do that because I feel like it would match the trees. I also bought, this one is Lost Lakes. I knew it was something Lakes. Lost Lakes. So pretty. I try to buy colors that I didn't already have something similar. And I know I don't have any Felice that's like this. So pretty. So pretty. I did have a little bit, I don't think this is the skein with it, but there was a little spot on one of them that was a little underdyed, well, not under-dyed, it just didn't have any dye on it. And I could call them and ask them if maybe I can exchange it or something, but I'm going to give you a little secret. Sometimes if you have Sharpies that are the same color, it's just one spot, you can just put a little bit on it, it's fine. Okay, and then I bought a clips. Now this one is a little different from any of the other Felici that I bought. It has like 5 different colors, not including the black. And it's striped, so it goes black, one color, or black color A, black color B, black color C. And so normally that's just not how it's done. Usually they'll do it as just a solid color, and it would just be on the within the repeat, but they're doing it alternating all the colors, and I really like it. I actually like this one better in person than I did in the pictures. It's got blue and gold and I believe three different shades of red, pink kind of deal. I may be wrong, maybe just 2 shades. I don't know. And then I bought this one, which is dark side. This is kind of like the rainbow, only it's on the website it says black with a black stripe. That is not black, that is dark gray. I actually like it better gray than I would if it was black, but they said it was black and it's not. The colors are slightly different than the rainbow colorway, if you have that from Felici. They're kind of similar, kind of different. Like the blue is kind of the same and the purple is the same, but the other ones are just kind of different, just a little bit. I've seen this someone knit up a quick like Roll City roller or something like that, and super cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This might be socks too. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I bought 2 skeins of everything except the clips, and I bought 4 of that because I was thinking knee-high socks or some kind of like matching coordination kind of deal. I don't know. And I mentioned I bought some Dishy, and I bought, that was all the yarn I bought. And then I bought one of those, not Knit Fix, stitch helper things to help you pick up drop stitches. It's like on a keychain. I show it in the video. I also bought a book, and this is Knit Superheroes by Rebecca Danger, who she basically does amazingly adorable like knitted monsters and like a bunch of different like things. This one I believe is mostly animals. Different animals. Yes, there's the raccoon and a lion, a donkey, a moose, an elephant, a hippo, an alligator, I believe it's an alligator or something, maybe a crocodile, giraffe, I'm not sure what that is, a tiger, and a sheep, and then there's like a boy too. What is that? Oh, it's a squirrel. It's a squirrel. So yeah, it's really, really cute. There you can see the little raccoon on the back. I don't know which one I'm going to start yet. They're all just so cute. And she comes up with like little stories about them, like, you know, Samson Sheep is the most successful stylist to the supers, you know, and it's just, and there's a bunch more on there, which, I don't know. I know that doesn't really have anything to do with the pattern exactly, but it has to do with the pattern experience. Yeah. So maybe I'll do a review over this book once I've actually used it, but I'm sure the way that she normally does her, like the construction is really nice because there's usually not as much, like, what's the right word? Not seaming, but like attaching all of the little pieces on there. Usually she does it in a way to where it's kind of one piece and you don't have to sew things on, which I always appreciate. Okay, that is all of that. So let's talk about what else. The reason I don't have as many things finished as I had planned on is because Steam is having their summer sale, and that's really the problem. Because I had planned on finishing the shawl and the cross stitch this weekend. Didn't happen. Because, okay. So if you play games, you understand. You will understand the craziness. But I normally just used my husband's Steam account. It's on Steam, which is like, it's kind of like a platform that you can put your games through and everything. And there are different achievements and things that they kind of do that go along with it, but it's a really nice way to get games. You can't get all the games in the world through that, but you can get quite a few really, really great ones actually. And by quite a few I mean a lot. But anyway, I finally set up my own Steam account. So if you are on Steam and you would like to be my friend, let me know. You can like send me a message or something, and we will become friends on the Steam. And you can see how many hours I have put into the game that I bought. Yeah. So I only own one game. Well, I mean, I own more than one game, but on Steam currently, I only have one game that I purchased. But I have access to my husband, so it's fine. And that's Stardew Valley. It's like Stardew is one word and Valley is another. Yeah. It's like Harvest Moon. It's almost exactly like Harvest Moon. But I love Harvest Moon, so I don't care. I will play it and just keep playing it. It's so fun. Over the last like 3 days, since like Friday, whenever I bought it, I mean, I've done like 20 plus hours on that. So yeah, I've been sitting in a chair. It's not been great. And that's just the reason that I haven't been getting anything done. Because I've got to build my farm and go, I don't know, go mining and fishing and all kinds of stuff. So it's just really, really, really fun. It's really fun. So if you are interested in that, you can check out the Steam sale. I think this is the first time it's ever been on sale, that game. I think it was 20% off. I feel like that's true. I can't remember what I paid for it now, but well worth the money, except for the fact that you may lose some time, /days, whatever. So I'm going to put a new rule in myself. I'm actually going to time myself now, because otherwise I will just play, because it's so fun. It's just so fun. Anyway, that's the only game I bought for the sale. There's a couple others that I thought about, but I was like, given how much like this one has sucked me in to it, I can't buy another one because I will never get anything done, and I have stuff I have to get done. So that is the big reason for my, lack of knitted finished objects. Yeah. I've also been watching, we did watch 2 shows over the past 2 weeks. So yeah, both shorter shows. They're both Netflix shows. One is Orange is the New Black. The new season came out and we finished it. I've been done with that for a while. Such a good season. I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything like that, but if you've watched it, you know. Let's just say, yeah, like, stuff happens. And you might not be expecting it. Unless you heard something, then you might be. But it was really good. I thought it did seem a little bit like the first part of the season and the second part of the season weren't the same. Like the tone was way different. And that was probably done intentionally, I think, maybe, I don't know. But still really good. Still really good. And I can't wait to see like what happens next year, which I have to wait a whole year for. But what happens, like the fallout of everything that happens. So I want to know. And the other show I watched, again, is a Netflix show, and it is called Lady Dynamite. And, okay, so if you know, like, comedians or whatever, you might have heard of Maria Bamford. She is really, really funny, and I've watched some of her stand-up specials and things like that. My husband really likes stand-up comedy, so I never really was into it before he and I got together, but now I watch it sometimes. So she's really funny, and the show kind of details her. It's kind of, I mean, it's obviously fiction, but it's kind of based on her own life. She has a history of mental illness. I think she's diagnosed with it's bipolar 2, I think is what she's saying. Um, manic is it I think they used to call it manic depressive, but I don't think that's what it's called anymore. So I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so but anyway, so she has these like histories of this stuff, and so she kind of you have to get I will just say this, if you start to watch it, watch 2 episodes. The first episode, if you're not really paying close attention to what's happening, you're not going to be sure what's happening. It's good, but she goes between 3 different time points, and so that can be a little bit confusing if you're not like if you're just doing what I was doing, which was like knitting and not paying attention to the screen exactly. I was like, what is happening? Um, but I ended up watching it twice because I had started it and then I was like, okay, so my husband's gonna like this, so we went back and I watched the first couple episodes again, which maybe that's what you need to do too. But it's really good. And once you figure out exactly which time point she's in, and like there are indicators. It's just if you weren't paying attention, you might miss them. Um, but it's really good, and I think it kind of I know a lot of people who have, mental illnesses and things like that, and sometimes it's very like stigmatizing or stigmatized. But I don't know. It's it's also hard to be the person on the outside watching someone who has a mental illness, and I think if you watch that, like you might maybe get a little bit of insight as to what it feels like for the other person, the person with the illness. So it's really funny though. It's a funny show, but it's also got like some serious points. She has these cute pugs, these dogs. Um, I think there's only like I think 3 people in the main cast. It's like her, the person who plays her agent, and then the person who plays her best friend. But there are other characters who they're there all the time. I think it's got lots of like you'll see a lot of people that you know, a lot of people from SNL, a lot of people from Mad TV, a lot of just comedy people like Patton Oswalt is in it. He might have only been in 1 episode maybe, but just a lot of people that you'll see and you'll go, oh, I know that person. So yeah, it's really funny, and maybe watch the first one without knitting in hand or crochet in hand. And then after that, you'll be able to tell a little bit easier which time point she's in. So, okay, so that is all I've got for you today. What have you guys been working on? You guys been doing anything fun? Have you been doing? I know some of you are spinning, and I'm so excited because I have like people to talk about spinning with. Um, but have you guys been like? What have you been doing? I want to know. What projects are you working on? Have you done any charity things? Done any cross stitch? I'm always looking for new cross stitch patterns to buy and then not use for 2 years. Truth. Let's just be honest. That's what happens. I buy them and then I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. And by 2 years, that's usually the minimum. It's very rare that I buy something and then start on it right away. It's a problem, but a fun one. Okay, I'm gonna go and I will see you guys next time. Bye!